Hi everyone, it's Carissa at Sprinkled with Glitter, and I am here with a project for you. I have been taking the online card classes Kickstart class, and I've really been enjoying it. And one of the first days was about organizing your ideas. And I'm not going to go into it because I think that if you want to get the information, you should go to the class. But if you are in the class, you will see a lot of inspiration coming from that class. So what I've decided to do, and this is not necessarily a new idea for me, I've kept a lot of sketch journals and stuff like that in the past, but I kind of just tend to grab whatever notebook I see at the time, and I wanted to really create a place where I could keep it all together. So I went out and I looked and looked for the perfect journal or sketchbook or whatever, and I have found this notebook here, and it doesn't look like anything special, and that's kind of what this video is about, is kind of just taking this and making it my own, and I'll get into that in just a few minutes, so just bear with me here. This is the book that I purchased, and it is called The ARC Customizable System. It's by Staples, and you can see it's a unique kind of binding system. It has these rings here. I bought the notebook, and it came with just some regular lined paper in it, but I was able to purchase these refills that have graph paper, which is good for sketching, and then I also was able to purchase like these little list things that you can put in here, and you can see that I have like some supplies that I want to buy, stuff like that, on these blog ideas and projects that I want to work on and stuff like that. So that's perfect for making little lists. And then this little ruler here. I'm not going to show you a whole lot of my sketches because a lot of them right now are for a release that I'm working on, and so you'll see those projects coming up on my blog. But it's just a place for me to kind of keep it all down and kind of organize my ideas. Now, the reason I chose this one is because this system is kind of unique in that these papers and refills can come out. So I have this here, and then if I wanted to put it in another position, you can just move it around. And so now it's all bound. So as, you know, things change, I can kind of reorganize the order in which it's in and stuff like that. Also, there's a whole lot of different things, little zipper pouches, but they do have a little punch to where you could cut your own paper and punch it on the side to have these in there, and then put it into your book or journal or whatever it is. So anyway, this is kind of, I thought, would work really well for me because it allows me to move things around. It allows me to reorganize it, you know, and then if the book gets full, I can keep the outer shell and move some of these into another book where you can buy these rings separately as well. So, and I've taken and made just a few templates in here. With the graph paper, it makes it really easy, but I've just taken basic things that I use a lot, and I've scaled them down. So this is a 6x6 scrapbook page, and it's at 65%. This is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 card at 65%, and then an A2 card at 65%. And these are just basic templates that I can then trace around, and it gives me the correct scaling, and then I can sketch in. You know, once I trace that shape onto my paper, then I can sketch my card design or whatever it is. So I kind of have those in here, and I have a little pencil so I can erase. And I just keep these kind of in the front of this. So I really thought this system was perfect for me, but the notebook itself is not so wonderful. It's green and it's cute, and they have lots of different colors. I chose the green. I really do like green. But I wanted to make something kind of to make it my own, but not necessarily make it permanent. So that's where I'm going with this video. I am going to actually make a little embellishment, I guess, with a charm, and I'm going to use some ribbon, and this ribbon will eventually be basically velcroed on the back, so it won't be attached to the book in any way, but I'm going to sew some velcro onto some of this ribbon, have it on here, and then I'm going to attach a charm to that ribbon just to kind of identify it as mine and make it special. And then that way also, if I get tired of this embellishment, just like the book, I can kind of change it out and revamp it. It's not going to be on there permanently. I'm not going to use any glue to glue it. Okay, so it's time to create the charm for the front of my sketchbook or idea book. And I have some pieces here that I'm going to be using. This is the little charm that I'm actually going to be putting this in at the end. And I knew I wanted to use this pattern here. This is a chevron pattern. This is actually a digital paper that I got from the Silhouette store. It's by Glitz Designs, and it's a super cool black and white distressed chevron pattern. But when I started putting things with it, it was hard to get enough contrast to see the items that I'm going to actually put on here. So I just printed this out with the transparency feature in the advanced settings of the fill pattern. And I just made it a little bit more transparent so that you can actually see things against it. So it's now more like a gray color, which is fine because it still goes in my color scheme. And to create this, all I did was purchase the fill pattern on Silhouette Studio. I created a square on my letter-sized mat, and I just sent it to the printer, just like I was going to do a print and cut, only I only printed it and didn't cut it. So now I have this little piece of square of pattern paper that I can use later too on a project. So I have this here, and I'm just going to set this to the side. You can see I've already created a little C with some glitter on it for my initial, because this journal is all about making it my own. And then I have, this is the way I created that C. I cut it with my Silhouette, and before I cut it, I covered it in score tape, and you can see that this heart is actually covered with score tape as well. I'm going to expose the adhesive on this heart that I've cut, and it is kind of tricky to get these to stay in place. So you can kind of fiddle with it here and get it off of my fingernail. Okay, so I have that heart, the adhesive is placed upwards, and then I'm going to take this onyx glitter from Martha Stewart, and I'm going to cover the heart with the onyx glitter. And then what I like to do when I'm covering things with glitter is take and fold my scratch paper over and just kind of rub all around to press that glitter into the adhesive. And then I have my cool little black glitter heart here. And set this to the side here. And I can start placing these onto this here. So I used black because the journal itself already has the black on the side. So I just went with it. And then I pulled in the green in this glitter C here as well. So these are just going to go onto this patterned paper. And they're just going to kind of layer over each other just like this. But I want to slide it into the punch I'm going to be using to create this before I start placing it. So I'm just going to slide this piece of paper up in there, get it to the part that I want, and I will take some glossy accents and just cover the back of these shapes and then place them where I want them within the charm. So this is my actual charm here. This is what's going to be showing within that window of that charm. So this is where I'm going to be placing my elements. Okay, so now I have those on there where I want it. And I'm going to take these bubble caps that are a part of this Epiphany Crafts punch system, and I'm just going to remove one from the backing sheet without touching the sticky part because that will make it kind of fingerprinty. I'm just going to drop it down in there into that window, just like that, and then I'll close the lid and I can punch this out. So now I have my little glittered elements behind this little bubble cap here, and I can take it and attach it to my charm and attach it to the base of my charm. And this is the charm base here, and I am going to just coat this with some glossy accents. Now that may be a little generous, but that's okay. I'm gonna have a baby wipe on hand so that if it smushes out, I can get the edges of it, and so the charm won't have all this kind of mushy stuff coming out all over it. I wanna make sure that my charm is straight and I get this lined up in here the way I want it, and then I'm just going to drop it in there. Okay, so I have my little charm here, and I just wanna add one finishing touch, and that's gonna be just a little rhinestone here, and I have some crystal rhinestones here, and they're actually the Hot Fix rhinestones, and I'm going to add it to that heart. So I will just pick it up with my tweezers here, and I will find where I kind of want to place it on this heart, and I think I'm just going to put it right up there in that corner. And I'm going to take this little Imaginus iRock, and I'm just going to heat it up and then add it to the front of that charm. Okay, and there is my project for today. Let me zoom in for you. Have a great little charm to add to the front of my sketchbook now, and I will finish that project up by just putting the ribbon on and velcroing it on there and then adding my charm to it. I've finished up my project completely now, and I've attached it to the front of my journal, and I thought some of you might have some questions about how I did this, so I thought I'd show you the finished product. This is my little charm, and I've just attached it. I've just kind of stitched through it. Now, I'm not a sewer at all, so if I can do this, I promise you can do this. There is some sewing on this, though, and I'm actually quite proud of myself. I stitched it through onto this ribbon and pleated this ribbon as I stitched it through, and then just tied some twine around that to cover the stitching marks up. And then if I open this up, and this is not a beautiful job, so please do not critique my sewing here, but you can see I've just used some Velcro and I've sewn it on. I've just put 2 seams across each end of this, and I've just allowed myself enough that I can tighten this up and just Velcro this down. And then that way this embellishment is actually removable, and I can make more of these and change them out. So there is my project for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.